Hello, Meg Miller, an Adult Services Librarian here at Pflugerville Public Library, bringing you the final virtual laser cutter craft video for 2020. For this program, what we normally do is pick a laserable material each month. We design a craft project and then cut or engrave them with our laser cutters here at the library, and allowing for sign up for folks to come and pick up the supply kits to make the craft along with us. We hope that you get some ideas for possible projects for yourself. This month our material was cork, and I actually found on clearance some cork sheets. Now these are super thin, something that the laser could easily cut through. Not normally what we would do with cork. If you've got something a little thicker like this trivet here, we would really just kind of engrave it, but this was something that would easily be cut through, but I actually didn't want to cut through it. So you're getting a bonus material for this project. There will be the craft sheet that will be engraved, and we are actually going to pre-glue them to a plywood sheet so that you have something a little bit more solid to work with. In addition to the pre-glued and pre-etched design, you are going to receive a tiny bag of supplies that is going to include a little wooden easel for you to be able to set up your decoration on after you finish painting it. And then the two other pieces are some paints in fall colors, as well as a paintbrush. Now this white one here is actually a color changing kind of top coat paint that you can use to add a little bit of sparkle to your design. So we'll go ahead and show you the laser etching these designs in, and then we'll get started crafting.
One of the first few steps in laser cutting is making sure that their material is placed in the laser correctly. So after we have set the distance with the billet, I'm going to make sure that my material is in there straight. So you see the laser running the perimeter, showing me the outside bounds of the job that I'm about to run. I can see that I'm a little off, so I adjust up or down, left or right as needed. Run the perimeter again, sometimes a third time, just to make sure that I have got this piece of material in here squared and set up the way I want so that we are ready to start lasering the material. For this project, because the cork was so thin, I really needed to use very little power and keep the speed settings up pretty high so that I didn't cut all the way through the cork. For this video, I used a 5% power and a 95% speed, but realized that I was getting all of the way through the cork material. So when I made the majority of the rest of the cuts on our Muse laser, I actually dropped that power setting down to 3 and bumped up the speed setting to 100. So that it wouldn't go all of the way through the cork material and really would just kind of draw on this very cool fall mandala pattern that we picked for this project. This pattern SVG file was actually got from the Craftables website. It was a free design. They have some material that they sell, and they also have some SVG files that they can get on there. I chose an SVG rather than engraving this so that it would follow the lines of the design and kind of just draw on there. If you've watched some of our previous videos with me, you'll know that I am not very good at drawing, but something like this where the laser is engraving the image right on is very easy to then decorate later with the paints, as you'll see in the next portion of the video.
All right, as I said, this laser cutter craft is going to be very straightforward. It is, at this point, you'll get your wood with the cork attached to it. This is just glued down. As you saw, these sheets are very thin, and so they needed some backing. And now I've got this awesome little fall design that I can paint. We've gotten some fall colors in our little paint pots here. Pretty dangerous for me to be opening this all over, just in case some spilled. The white one is actually a color change, orange to green to yellow.
that is just almost going to be like a top coat, or you can do it on different little pieces to kind of highlight something. So really, this is just one of those great crafts where you decide which parts you want to be what color. And we've got a small paintbrush since this is a pretty detailed design. And you're just going to enjoy an evening and afternoon, maybe an hour or so, I think was about how long I spent on the first one, or however long feels best to you, on painting this great design as a little stand-up decor piece for this later part of the year. Here in Texas, we don't really get fall color changing here in the Austin area. We've finally cooled down some from the hot Texas summer, so this just felt a little bit more right. This acrylic paint dries pretty fast onto the cork, and kind of soaks in a little bit. So while you may not want to go directly to the next section outside of this, really, if you jump a slight section over and then come back shortly, then you should have no problem with painting over it and it being fairly dry. You'll also notice that I am starting from the center rather than one corner. That way I don't end up with paint on the heel of my hand. Again, it happens. Again, acrylic paint comes right off, soap and water. No real problem. I really like these fall colors. So I'm just kind of doing, and while you see I did open all of my colors at the same time, really you could just decide on one color that you want to start with and just open that color. That's what I did the first time around. And I still have some paint on this brush. I know cork has a bit of a smell after it's been cut with the laser cutters. A little bit extra corky, so I apologize if that is something that bothers you. I don't mind it too much. There are definitely materials that we cut with the laser cutter that smell a whole lot worse. Let's see. One of those little guys. I think that's the last one. What else do I want to paint in this red? I think I want to do these guys in red on this version. I did them in a different color the first time around. All right. And as always, we are totally interested in seeing what it is you have done with these crafts. So if you are on Facebook, you can find this video, and drop a picture of your craft in the comments. We'd love to see it. If you are on like Instagram, or if you share a picture on Twitter, tag us and we'll be able to see it there too. The video is also going to be on YouTube, but comments are turned off there, so you won't be able to leave us any comments there. And this is the last laser cutter craft of 2020, so we will see you again at the end of January with another laser cutter craft. Enjoy!